Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we're taking a look at the Su27SM. I have already made a video on this plane. However, there were some changes with the Dancing Dragons update that came out that also released the Chinese top tier planes, the JF-17 and the JF-10. Good planes in their own right. I have never really gone too deep into the Chinese tree, and these planes kind of give me a reason to do that, so maybe look for some Chinese biplane gameplay coming out here soon. But here we are in the Su27SM. It also received some changes to it with the update, and that is in the form of some weapon changes. So really the same kind of loadout, except down below in the belly there we have two additional R77s that we can carry, which I do carry, and I recommend you carry the two additional ones. That's a 50% increase in the Fox 3s that this thing can carry, which is a pretty big deal. It makes it so that at the beginning of the games you can be a little bit more speculative with shots. If you see someone at like 20 kilometers and you're not exactly sure if it'll hit them or not, you have a couple extra missiles to just lob off and hope they connect. So definitely useful to have those extra 2 missiles there, and I do recommend you take the full 12 missile bus loadout you see here with the 4 R73s, the 2 ETs, R27 ETs that is, and the 6 R77s under the belly. Whether or not you want to take out the R27, I think you can actually replace the 27 ETs with R77. So if you want to do that, that's definitely an option to do there. Interesting match here. I usually prefer going to the right on this map, but that's okay. I usually also just take into account where I'm at, where I spawn in. I'm not going to cross over all the way to the right to get to the right side of the map, but we do have a fair amount. I do have the sun there, otherwise I'd be trying to lock up an ET a little bit more. Well, here we go. That person's a little bit off the sun. We'll lob that one off there. Another big change that came to this plane. 20 kilometers HMS. Huge, huge, huge. I think that's definitely the biggest part of this update here. Let me switch to the ET there. I'm going to spam a little bit more chaff than I wanted to there, but that's okay. We're going to run away. We got that ET kill, and we're going to extend off to the back of their map here a little bit. I am getting a ping somewhere from this side of the map. I'm not sure what it is. Looks like something shot a missile at us potentially, so we're going to extend out a little bit longer. Like I was saying, that HMS is a big deal. I think there's two groups of people at top tier. There's people who know how to work the radar, and then there's those that rely on the HMS to do the rest of the work. See, can I lock him up? It's a little bit far to catch in the rear aspect. We'll see what that can do. And then there's people that use HMS. I'm certainly in the HMS group. He's gonna flare and that's gonna go dead. That's okay, we tried. I find it very useful. I use it sort of like a gimped TWS tracker to try to not give away my position so much here. We'll keep that locked best I can. I don't know where that missile's coming from, but we're just gonna go to defend here. Critical hit. Took our chaff there, and looks like he's gonna go down. One thing I do have to keep in mind, flying, I have not flown a lot of Su27SM or Su27 for that matter. The airframe is not quite as sturdy as, you know, an F-15 or even a Gripen. It'll rip, and if you roll it too hard, it'll again rip. It's sort of just like a gut feel for me on when that is, which I don't really have that good of a gut feel for it at the moment. Let's see, J10, F-15, F-15. Let's see if I can catch one of them out here. I want to lob one off of him. Go ahead and lob one at him. That was a little close there. Let's see. Switch back to chaff. We're good there. Alright, we're at 4 here. A little bit of dicey 4. We got one R77 left and four R73s. Couldn't quite get it. That's okay. We'll dive out here. Drive it into the ground there, and we'll keep going because he's going to be chasing us here pretty aggressively. I can get low here. Sorry, a little hyper focus there. J11, he's going to have the same missiles as me. Pop a chaff flare just in case he's lobbing ER. I have to focus on keeping this terrain close. I don't see him lobbing anything off at this point. He definitely has me locked. If he has an ER, I could be in trouble again. If he has an ET, I could also again be in trouble. I need to try to find a place where I can get a little low here. That was close. We're gonna have to get close here, close counters. We'll get that off the rail, see what he can do. Looks like it's tracking. He didn't flare, and down he goes. A little bit tense there. He definitely had the upper hand. I'm gonna actually turn into him and get some guns on him. It's actually the last one, so now I'm gonna just shoot my missiles off at him. There we go. Yeah, so really, this is kind of the new and improved Su27SM. Very good plane. Prior to this update, I think it was, you know, it was probably a 13.3 plane if it wasn't so compressed. It really was not on the same level as the F-15C, Gripen, and F-16C. But now, it really is. I think it's a true 13.7. It can compete at the same level. You are a little gimped on the countermeasures, but then again, I'd say that's a fair compromise to having 12 missiles. That's a lot of missiles. And, you know, I do find that the countermeasures work fairly well on the Su-27. Like, you saw a couple scenarios there where I pushed it a little bit more than I probably should have, but the countermeasures actually came in clutch and soaked up a few missiles there. So let's get into another game and see what we can do. Alright, so welcome back in. Here we are in the Su27SM once more. Same map. We're going to take it to the right this time. We're a little bit more on the right spawn. No real... this does sort of lack in, you know, the top end acceleration that I've seen on like the F-16C. And even the F-15C, I think this has a little bit less acceleration towards the top end. I find myself a little bit slower when I hit the initial launch of the missiles there. I usually, in the F-15, I usually try to be like Mach 1.4 at the beginning when I launch my missiles off. The F-16, I could be at like 1.6. Even the Gripen, about 1.5. It's pretty fast. This, you know, I'm usually around 1.3 when I lob those missiles off. A little bit slower, but that's okay. People like to complain about the R77, how it's not quite as good as the AIM-120. I find they're pretty much equal, honestly. I really don't find any situations where I think that a 120 would have hit where the R70 didn't, or vice versa. Uh, yeah. I think they're just fine. But for now, let's go ahead and start trying to lock people up with the TWS, see if I can find any that are low. That was a friendly missile that whizzed by. That one's a little low, so we're gonna go ahead and gain a little bit of altitude. We're gonna log those off, and we're gonna go ahead and... I think I'm gonna head cold here. There's quite a few planes over there. I'm gonna need some distance. I'm checking low to see if there's anyone low. And this is probably a scenario in which you'll see me use the 20 kilometer HMS a good deal. They're still flying. Because this is where, you know, you're on the run, and I can do a high off force shot with the Fox 3s at 20 kilometers. And that's a big deal. So like this guy, he's an option to lock up if he gets in range. Just scan the ground here a little bit. Looks like those missiles did not hit. That's okay. Drop a few countermeasures there just to be safe. I touched on it before, but I do scan with my HMS quite a bit. I use it as sort of a GIMP TWS to try to avoid giving away my position so much. I usually don't like launching my ETs locking someone up because it gives them that much more warning, but that's okay. That one I don't think is actually going to hit, but we'll see. Because that's a 20 kilometer gap that he's extending. So we'll go ahead and head back this way. Pretty far off the side of the map at this point because of him. Let's see. Hey, we got a hit. I'll take it. Yeah, so like I said, I use this as sort of a TWS mini, and I manually am scoping right to left while trying to lock someone up. And I think, I've never gone into a match with someone else to prove it, but I think that sort of limits the my RWR pings on someone else's radar. And any advantage I can take, I'll take it. Let's see, I don't see anything. There is a limit though, however, that sometimes I'll catch people flying underneath me because I'm not putting out a big radar signature. We'll chase him down. That's probably gonna hit him. Nope. Okay. Air brake just a little bit here. Lob that off. That looks like it's tracking pretty well. He didn't get a warning. R73 for the win. I do still like R73s. They seem to perform just fine. The R27ET to me, since I made the last video, seems like it's a little bit weaker. It seems like it doesn't like the range so much. We'll get behind this hill here.
The victory is near.
Oh, yeah. I said hello to that tree a little bit. I really don't like the trees in this game. They're so inconsistent there. He's got 4 kills, so I do need to be a little bit cautious of him. And it's down to the last 2 of us. I don't think that tree did an awful lot to me. I hope it didn't, because if this comes down to a dogfight, it might matter. I'm gonna lock him up and just start lobbing missiles at him. There he goes. I hope that's not tracking my friendly, but he's already dead from an enemy R77. So yeah, that's just kind of a quick look at how the new and improved Su27SM is performing. It's a legitimate 13.7 top tier plane now, and I think it's definitely a valid competitor to the F-15C, 16C, and Griffin. So Thanks for watching. Please make sure to subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.